Louie Tee. Welcome to lockdown coverage, week number 7 in the National Football League. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on the New Orleans Saints. Saints coming into this game feeling good about themselves, winners of 2 straight, looking to make it 3 and turn this season around. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs, huge win, and everyone, for some reason, felt like this was the Chiefs coming off the bye week. No, the Chiefs came off their bye last week when they pounced the Oakland Raiders in Oakland. So, no, the Chiefs aren't coming off their bye. They're just quietly under the radar doing work like the Chiefs always do. And with an opportunity to go to 4-2 on the season and really get right in the thick of things in that AFC West race, this is a big opportunity at home to beat a team that you should be able to handle, but can be very volatile and explosive on the offensive side of the football. We're going to break this game down here in a second, but before we do, welcome to the Louie Tee Network. If this is your first time here, but if it's not, you know what time it is. But for those of you who haven't done so already, subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more great content in 2016 and beyond. Doing some big things, looking to change the game. Want you to be along that journey with me as I continue to evolve and change things on YouTube, breaking down the National Football League. Also, I'm on Twitter. @In the Lab Room is the Twitter handle. Anytime you want to know what's going on, updates, things of that nature with the channel when I'm uploading a video or just having some conversation, whether you are chiming in on a video or you're just tweeting me directly, whatever the case may be, go ahead and follow me on Twitter @In the Lab Room. Also, I'm on Facebook. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Again, I'm going to jump into that realm of Facebook Live here shortly. Starting to figure out how that works and how I want to incorporate it. I think I'm going to do some exclusive content there. So be sure to follow me on Twitter and like the Facebook page. That being said, if you're out there on Twitter or you're watching live on YouTube in the chat discussion box, you want to be a part of the show, use the hashtag LouieTeeLive. That being said, let's break this game down. Chiefs at home hosting the New Orleans Saints. We're going to go likes, dislikes, banana in the tailpipe. And we're going to start with the likes of the road team, that being the New Orleans Saints in this game, and what they did that I liked in the first half of this game. Impressive opening drive for the Saints. 4 consecutive games of scoring on the opening drive for the New Orleans Saints. And this is an explosive offense, and they're clicking right now. And that was a beautiful drive. And I love the capper, the pass to Cooks, setting up some mismatches. Having Cooks in the backfield, getting him one-on-one with Frank Zombo, huge mismatch, and Breeze with a perfect ball out to the flats for Cooks to get into the end zone to give them the 7-0 lead in this ball game. Other than that, though, the offense went silent. You had the big mistake by Breeze, and it was really a good play by Eric Berry that turned into a pick 6, and then you really didn't get much going offensively after that in the first half. So we'll move on to the Kansas City Chiefs and their likes in the first half. Spencer Ware. He continues to be the best player they have on the offense this year. I mean, if you remember, if you go all the way back to week 1, who was the catalyst for that comeback? You could give some credit to Alex Smith, who threw it 40-some-odd times in that game, but Spencer Ware was the man catching and running the football in that come-from-behind victory versus the San Diego Chargers in week 1. Who was the catalyst in your win last week at Oakland in a muddy, wet, nasty environment? It was Spencer Ware, who was the guy that led the way with a huge rushing day, also caught the ball out of the backfield. Again, Spencer Ware doing it all in this game with a double screen, essentially catching the football, navigating his way through traffic, breaking that final tackle, and running away from the defenders for the first score of the game. And I thought it was a great response to the opening score touchdown by the Saints. You didn't want the Saints to start building some momentum. You go 3 and out right there. That's 2 straight possessions of no points for you. They already scored, and they got momentum now. They get the football back, maybe some good field position. What's to stop them from doing it again? But you go out, you respond with a touchdown to match theirs, get it knotted up at 7, changes the momentum in the game, and you're able to then have some big plays go your way and jump out to a 21-7 lead at the half. Speaking of which, Daniel Sorensen with a huge pick 6. I did not know Daniel Sorensen was that athletic. Did you see how fast he was running when he got that football in his hands? Man, that was impressive. He got that football off the carom, and I'm just watching this kid explode through the Saints offensive players, running by guys like they're in slow motion, and then cut it back against the grain. I'm like, man, this guy is flying. Athletic play. And I heard on the telecast, he's the first Chiefs defender to ever have a pick six and a sack in the same game. So he was doing some work in the first half of this game. Dan Sorensen, huge play on the pick six. Great play by Eric Berry. Don't want to dismiss what he did and his impact on this particular play because it was his defense that knocked the football up in the air. Then the receiver, Willie Schneed, tried to catch it and bobbled it once more, giving Sorensen the time to get over there, pick it off, and then he did the rest. Tyreek Hill. I've been talking about Tyreek Hill all season long. This guy is one of the most explosive players in the league, if not the most explosive. And every time he touches the football, I feel like something big can happen. That goes for punt returns, kickoffs, you name it, whatever, jet sweeps, however he touches it. Well, they finally started to use him on the deep ball, and he beats the defender, makes a hell of a catch, damn near one-handed grab in the end zone, and he ran under that football. Alex Smith just threw it up and said, I'm going to trust you to go get it, and that he did. Great play. The defender wasn't out of position. Tyreek Hill just fastened him. He ran to the football and got it. Great play. This guy has a star written all over him. If he can continue to stay healthy and they can find creative ways to use him, this guy's got star written all over him. I mean, all the different ways you can get him the football. You've got two of these guys on your roster, and now that DeAnthony Thomas is back, the Black Mamba, if you can get him involved too, I actually think, though, Tyreek Hill is more explosive, and I didn't think that was possible, more explosive than DeAnthony Thomas. And so now you got two of these guys that can really cause problems if you line them up all over the field. You got to put a package together with both of these guys on the field doing things that's going to confuse defenses. I would love to see that in action, man. Just like I love when the Chiefs run their 3 tight end package, because I think you actually got 3 tight ends that can do some damage. I think you got to come up with some type of package. And I'm pretty sure they have one, and I'm pretty sure they employed it in this game. But I want to see them actually take advantage of some matchups with both of those guys on the field at the same time. Tyreek Hill starting to become a huge weapon in Kansas City. You go to the first half dislikes. You go back to the Saints. Breeze throws a pick six, and it was a great play by Eric Berry to deflect the football. Daniel Sorensen with a huge play to pick it off and then make guys miss, navigate the field, and get into the end zone. So really big play on his part. But, you know, with Breeze, you're going to get some of these every now and again. He loves to try to fit balls into tight spaces, and generally he makes it. But in this particular instance, wasn't the best move, and he had to pay for it. Big plays given up, and this is the problem that I really have with the Saints this season, especially on the defensive side of football. Look, we know the defense isn't great. A lot of holes there, a lot of injuries, all of those things, all true. However, you can't give up the big plays. That's how you get gashed as a defense. You want to know why the Panthers are struggling right now on the defensive side of football? Because, yeah, they're not stopping the run like they used to, but they're giving up big plays in the passing game, and they're giving up big plays in general. You can't give up big plays and expect to win in this league. You got to make teams earn it, because it's so hard to go 13 plays without some type of mistake. You know, miscommunication, a sack, or a penalty, false start, holding, something will derail the drive eventually if you make teams earn it. But if you give up a 4-play, 72-yard drive, and the last of which is a 65-yard touchdown, hard to win in this league. Hard to win in this league because it's just tough sledding to get teams to not beat you up, because you're giving up sevens when you give up these big plays. Okay, you're gonna find it harder and harder to keep up with teams when you're giving up sevens and they're getting them in the blink of an eye, and your defense is back on the field in no time. And especially if the offense isn't going out and getting something done after you give up the big plays. And so all of the scores in the first half for the Chiefs, all off of big plays. They didn't have to earn it. You gave them big play opportunities, and they took advantage. The pick six by Sorensen, the big ball to Tyreek Hill, and the big catch and run by Spencer Ware. All big plays. The Chiefs didn't go 11 plays, 85 yards. The Chiefs didn't go 13 plays, 72 yards. The Chiefs got big plays in the first half, and that's how you fell behind in this game. First half dislikes for the Chiefs, there were none. I thought the Chiefs went out and executed. Outside of that first possession where the Saints went down the field and got in the end zone, Chiefs did no wrong in the first half. Got a defensive touchdown. They got 2 big plays from their offense. What more can you ask for? They went out, they executed, took a 21-7 lead to the halftime break. You go to the second half, likes, go back to the Saints. Brandon Cooks is on my likes list. Love Brandon Cooks, what he brings to the table. Love how they're utilizing him, moving him around, slot, out wide, backfield, you name it. That's where he is. He's making plays. And the fact that he's gotten into the end zone now 4 straight games is a testament to how good this guy is. And he's only going to get better. Love what he brings to the table as a receiver. And I feel like he has a great complement. Now, you can move him around because of who you have outside now. And that guy being the next player on my likes list, Michael Thomas. Breakout game for him here. Even though he did not find the end zone this week, still 10 catches, 130 yards. Big production for this guy. He's just blossoming before our very eyes. Love his consistency. Love what he brings to the table. And I feel like he's the new Marquise Colston, a big framed target that Drew Brees can get the football to. Know that I can throw it up to him. He's going to make plays for me. And I think he's going to take over that role and take over it well. And if they could just find a way to get some stops defensively, this offense is shaping up into what they used to be in their prime years. You got Kobe Fleener, who's starting to get comfortable in the offense. Now you got Thomas as a big body receiver that Brees doesn't mind throwing it up to. And now all of a sudden, Brandon Cooks moving around, being that shifty Lance Moore type. All of a sudden, and he's way more explosive than Lance Moore ever was. This offense has the makings of that explosive offense that was the most dynamic in the NFL. So love what he brings to the table. Late touchdown to get back in the game is my final like on the likes list in the second half. They were down 10, 24-14. The Saints take it down the field, and on 4th down, they get in the end zone with Brandon Coleman on a diving catch. Good catch by him to get it to 21-24. Weren't able to convert on the onside kick. Chiefs able to get 3 points out of that and basically put this game away. But late touchdown to make it interesting by the Saints to give them a shot in this ball game. Chiefs second half likes. Ron Parker with the peanut punch, forcing a fumble of Mark Ingram, recovered by MP Double Deuce, a.k.a. the Kansas City Thief. With the recovery, he's always around the football. Great play by Ron Parker. Saints were moving the football, looking to get some points. That was a huge turning play in the game. And that's a way to take points off the scoreboard, but also bleed the clock. You're up. You want to stay up, and you want the clock to become your friend and the enemy of the Saints. And that was a great way of doing that by getting the football back to your offense and allowing them to eat up some precious time. Even if you don't score, and they didn't score in that instance, you would like to eat up some clock. And biggest thing there, flip the field position, make those guys do it all over again. You're not giving up big plays. You're going to make them go 11 plays, eat up the clock, and get down the field. And that's essentially what happened for them to get back into the ball game. So that was a huge play by Ron Parker. Big recovery by Marcus Peters. You go to the dislikes and the Saints, and we go to the second half again. Mark Ingram with the fumble. That was a huge play in the game. Got to hold on to the football there. Teams looking to get it out. You got to find a way to hold on to that football. Great play again by Ron Parker to punch it out, but Ingram has to be more secure with the football. Nick Fairley with a personal foul penalty late to give the Chiefs a new set of downs. Again, these are the types of things that you just can't have happen. You late in the ball game. You need the football back. You need to get it back to your offense. You're about to do exactly that, and you get a personal foul penalty on Nick Fairley to extend the possession, eat up more clock, and give the Chiefs more opportunities to put this football game away. Michael Thomas not getting out of bounds late. Look, he tried. He just came up short. Actually, initially, I thought he had gotten out of bounds. The replay shows that the knee was, in fact, down. Great call by the official because I thought he was a ways away to be able to see that, have a hawk's eye and be able to point that out and keep the clock running in that situation. Most referees would assume in that situation that he got out of bounds, give him the benefit of the doubt, and allow the Saints to get a Hail Mary off. Who knows what happens then? Instead, he didn't get out of bounds. The clock winds, game's over. So that was a big play, not getting out of bounds. Like I said, he gave it an effort, but he just wasn't able to do so. Second half dislikes for the Chiefs, allowing the Saints back into the game with only 6 second half points. So you jump on these boys 21-7. You got all the momentum going into the halftime break, and you're only able to muster 2 field goals in the second half. You pretty much put it on cruise control, and that's something that you just don't want to do because teams, especially like the Saints that are so explosive, they come back and get you in the drop of a hat. Luckily enough for you, the defense made some big plays, including that fumble forced by Ron Parker to keep them at bay and allow you to get away with the victory. But you got 21 points at half. You need to be scoring in the 30s. And this is my problem with the Chiefs. They forced 8 turnovers from the Jets earlier in the season and only got 27 or 24 points in that game. You got to find a way to score up over 30. You want to compete with the big boys in this league, the Patriots, the Steelers, those types of teams. You're going to have to score 30 plus. And I don't know if this Chiefs team is able to do that on a consistent basis. Again, you score 21, get a defensive touchdown, and you've got 21 at the half, and you still can't find a way to get 10 points in the second half and get into the 30s. That's a problem for me. But in any event, you won the football game, and that's what matters most. So let's check Twitter, see if we have any comments from you out there. And if you do, I will read them quickly. Let's see. Nothing there. I'll quickly get to my mentions and see if I have anything there. Nothing there. So let's get to your comments in the comment section quickly. Eagle Speed is a nerd says, are the Chiefs a playoff team yet? They're going to make the playoffs. I felt confident about them being they're a sneaky playoff team. Nobody's going to talk. They're not the sexy, trendy pick. They may not win the AFC West, even though I still think they got a great shot to win that division. But they're going to get to the playoffs. This is a playoff team. Their defense is built for the playoffs. They can run the football. They don't turn it over a ton. This is a playoff team for sure. Are they going to win the division is the bigger question, because I think they're right there in the thick of things. And if they can find a way to stifle the Broncos, because they've already went to Oakland and beat the Raiders, and I think they're going to sweep the Raiders in Kansas City later on in the season. If they can find a way to just stay close and strike later on in the season, I think they'll be able to win that division as well. Eagle Speed is a nerd says, if Marcus Peters tears his ACL at the beginning of the season, what would their record be right now? There you go again with these crazy hypotheticals. They probably are 3-3 right now. I mean, honestly speaking, I thought his interception versus the Raiders was the changing point in that game. It was a huge turning point. Raiders up 7-0. They got all the momentum. Peters picks them off, and the game was never the same after that. So maybe they don't win the Raiders game. But other than that, and he had a couple of big plays versus the Texans, but they still lost that game. So they're probably 3-3. Maybe. They're probably still 4-2 in all actuality, to be honest with you. But fact of the matter is he didn't tear his ACL. It's a crazy hypothetical, but that's what you do best, man. Clorox Bleach says, if Saints had a decent defense, they would be 11-5. There would be a double-digit win team for sure. This offense is so dynamic. They're so explosive. Drew Brees is so good. They've got so many weapons now with Thomas emerging and Cooks. And I thought Hightower ran it well in this game. And I love Willie Snead. And you're getting some contributions out of the tight end position. They would definitely be a double-digit winning football team if they could just play some defense. But they can't. If and buts were candy and nuts, oh, what a wonderful world it would be. But it's not. So bottom line is they don't play defense. They have to outscore teams, and they're not going to be able to outscore teams every week. And this is going to be your end result when you can't outscore a team, a 27-21 loss for the Saints. They dropped to 2-4 on the season after winning 2 in a row, seemingly having the opportunity to turn their season around. They dropped to 2-4. Chiefs get another victory, their second in a row. They are now 4-2, and like I said, right in the thick of things in the AFC West division. So that's going to do it for your man Louie T here on Lockdown Coverage. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. Remember, we're changing the game one live feed at a time. I'll be back a little bit later on with the Vikings and Eagles. I'll see you for that breakdown a little bit later on. Have a good one.